All right. Minutes. Any questions, changes? Anything about the minutes that needs revised? No. Well, then let's move on to our first topic. Can you pull the agenda up,
Yeah.
Jolene, please?
See the sharing. Oh, there it is. Oh, well, I really need glasses.
I really need new glasses.
I can't read anything on the screen.
I
Okay.
know Inez needs new glasses as well. We had this conversation the other day.
Yeah, reading glasses don't do it for the big screen. There you go.
Shall we all go to the optometrist at the same time? Okay. Uh, so it looks like we're starting out with 0.5% for art. So Sebastian, do you want to talk about that?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Since I saw you all last, I wrote some drafts for our two art opportunities that we talked about last times. They are just drafts. Please know that I would love a second look. I would love people to suggest edits. I think Jolene's already with the one that's attached, Jolene has already went through and made some good edits and put some good updated drawings in there, but I added the language for CodeWorks. The only thing on this most recent draft I looked through really quick before the meeting started is that I have it set up on the free mode on CodeWorks, which only accepts three work samples from each artist. I could maybe see about getting the paid mode, but if you just say free, then we don't have to spend, there's not a chance we would ever have to spend more money on an application form or system. And there we could do all of the review and jurying and everything at no cost and anything like that. If I was still another piece of news for everyone, in case I didn't say, I got a new job. I don't work at CodeWorks anymore. I don't have the same kind of inside access to application forms for public art RFQs as I did before. I work for a new company or a different company called Johnson Health Tech now. They make fitness equipment. They're in Cottage Grove. It's been very cool so far, very different, bigger company. Anyway, um, I'm still pretty good with the staff over at CodeWorks, and I left on pretty good terms, but I don't know that I can promise any kind of special deal or special treatment if we want to do the full package with as many work samples from artists as we want, kind of jurying links for jurors like us, like anybody, third parties, stakeholders, anybody we want. Um, that's something that we would have to get their like an enhanced level of access for. My recommendation for this would just to be taking three work examples from each applicant, keep it for free, and then we can also generate like a big packet of the applications at the end when all the applications are collected as well, that I still have access for and can help us do. But I do really like how where these are going. I know this packet I saw it doesn't have the tunnel the tunnel project in yet, but that's totally okay. I think these things do take time, and I know lots of people have to look at them and approve them and make sure that everyone involved, not just the city, but the people living nearby and people related to the conservancy all have to feel good about what's going on. We don't want to publish something and then hear, oh no, this is not what we want. This won't represent us fairly or well. I think we're gonna do pretty well in this one. Um, I think it's gonna work pretty well together, and it's a really good site. I would just love kind of a broader consensus beyond the committee that this is something people want to do, and this is something people really want. I think it's possible. I just don't know.
So, um, if we were to get a grant, what is the grant amount?
For this project,
Isn't that what you were just talking about, that you had been applying for grants? Or is that something separate?
I'm not applying yet for any.
No, I was talking to Sebastian.
Oh,
Oh, no, I don't know about specific grants for this.
Okay,
If
I
you knew about
misunderstood.
one and wanted me to help with the application, I'd be happy to help. I just don't know um, which ones might have been named.
So, okay, would we then be footing the bill for the entire budget? Would this be something that would be split between city departments or city groups? Um, or would we be using just strictly 0.5% for this?
Uh, Jolyn, do you want to take this one? I know you had
sure.
some ideas about fundraising.
Yeah, I penciled in because when Sebastian first drafted, he put a pretty wide range, and I think we do have that wide range. But I was thinking like, what might you all feel is realistic as far as fundraising lift? Because we know we have the $90,000 that we talked about before, assuming you go forward with that, of the 3 years of 0.5% for art. And I thought, well, I feel like raising an additional $30,000 definitely feels to me like something that would be on the relatively easy side of things. If you want to go higher than that, I don't think it's impossible. I think you could raise more than that. But I was trying to think here, like you actually have that money left over from the roundabout project that didn't happen. So this would fit in there where you could do this and pay for your the honoraria and the travel fees for your finalists and not have raised anything additional.
So, what's left in the roundabout fund?
I think it's about $40,000.
I think you're right. I was thinking it was 35, so I think that's pretty close. So if
Yeah.
we, yes, if we use that and we use 3 years of 0.5%, then we could manage this.
The 120 is very safe. And then if you did rate, like if you find a project that's just so amazing and it would cost an extra, certain amount, you could then raise more. We could apply in July for an NEA grant. I think it's a stretch. You never know if you're going to get those. It's just hard to count on those. I think a public fundraising campaign with some private donors, there, oh, sorry, let me admit, Elizabeth. Okay, Elizabeth is joining. There, I think you could definitely raise more than the 120,000 if you wanted to stretch to 150,000. Like it kind of depends on how much of a budget you all want to have.
Okay. Um, Anything else anybody wants to say about this? So we're looking pretty far out if we're talking about 3 years of funds, right?
To 2027 to when this happens.
Okay. Any other questions or
I have
anything
a,
else about
I have
this?
a question on the deadline. So this call to artists will go out shortly, I'm guessing. It says deadline March 31st, 2026. Is that enough time? I was just wondering.
Oh, that's just penciled in.
Oh, it's just penciled in,
I think it's
so
aspirational.
okay.
Yes, aspirational, definitely.
Oh, okay, because I was like, that's a month then.
Depends
Okay.
on when this gets finalized.
Okay. Okay. But wh where do we advertise this then? I'm sorry if I don't understand. Just the call to artists, where does that go out?
Well, it's through CodaWorks, and
Okay.
then we would also be advertising the call.
Okay. On our website, on the city.
Yeah, press releases and other sites where people list calls for artists,
Okay.
social
That sounds
media.
good.
That's all I was wondering.
Okay. So how do you normally do this? Since I wasn't involved in your last call for Lake Street, do you all vote
We
on all of these terms?
well, um we came up with a list of things that we wanted that piece of art to encompass, and specifically with Lake Street, we wanted it to bridge the past and the present. And we wanted to also honor, so we wanted to honor the people that were here before, are here now, and will be here in the future. And that's why it looks kind of like it's moving. It's a school of fish. It looks like someone portaging a canoe. And we at that time also wanted to try to seek out indigenous artists or at least make sure that we were including the indigenous community in the RFQ. And so that was kind of what our requirements were. Um, Correct me if I'm wrong, others that were here at that time, but I think that that was pretty much what we were looking at. And we also had space constraints at that location, so it had to be something that was a little bit more vertical. So it depends on a lot of things, Jolene. It depends on the space. It depends on the location at the space or at the spot at the location, and it depends on kind of the things that we want it to encompass for that space.
And I think if you don't mind me interrupting, Michelle, then we just got like all of these applications and we kind of just voted on them, right? Didn't we come up with kind of a
We
number
did.
system?
Yeah, we had a metric that we created with all of our requirements or all of the things that we were looking for. And then we all independently went and judged. I think what happened initially is we just had a big group discussion and we brought it down to three. Is that right? I think we
Sounds
just
right.
discussed it in our meeting and we brought it down to three. And then we applied the metric to those three, and we had some really great candidates. We also in the past, Jolynn, have sent out emails to other or to artists who have applied for other large scale projects.
Yeah, I guess I was wondering about like for all of the different points in the RFQ, like how do you make the decision on this? Do you vote like do you need to vote on here's what we want the budget to be? Do we need to vote on, like different terms like that that are in here? How do you want to finalize this
Well, we
RFQ?
knew with the last one that we had a set budget of $60,000 because we had 2 years of 0.5%. And so we had to gear it around that, and we had to include that in the RFQ, that this was our budget essentially. And then again, I feel like we just kind of discussed the things that we felt were important for that piece and that location in our meeting. And then
Okay.
we kind of set a list of we kind of set the list of requirements or the list of desires, I guess would be a better way of putting it, after we discussed. So I think it would be, we would need to know some more things. Like we would need to talk about what we envision for that space, like what we want that piece of art to reflect. Um, So we should have discussions about that so that we can get our RFQ ready. And some of that was also requirements by Sebastian because Sebastian's worked on large scale projects. And so some of that was also recommendation from Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do that now?
Um, well, I can, oh, sorry. I agree with all of that. All of that does sound good. The one thing I'd highlight out of that is a height requirement. I don't really know if we have a height requirement on this call, but it might be good just to do some discovery about that to know if we want to constrain it, have a minimum, have a maximum at all, just to set an expectation on that. But yeah, I think that's basically the process. Another recommendation, just because this is different project. It seems like the plans aren't as far along as they were for Lake Street. I don't know if there's any way we can all like through SharePoint maybe comments on the drafts that are coming out or
Or
have
Google
a
Docs,
system,
maybe.
yeah, have a system where we can share the current state of the drafts amongst the whole committee, and then everybody can comment and say, I see this, I see that, I would like to see this, I would like to see that. And some way to do that where I don't know that we can do it all in a meeting or like verbally talk through everything in a really effective way, but if we were to on our own time individually comment out parts that we want to see or questions or things that we'd like to answer, uh Katie and myself and Jolene and our subcommittee group can work all that in and figure out how to include it all in the drafts. And that would be my recommendation, not to like, spend the whole meeting trying to decide budget,
Right.
scope, what does the base look like, what does the kind of
Well,
context, all that stuff.
I feel like the working group decided some of those things on their own last time anyway, and then
Mhm.
brought those recommendations back to the group. I would also like to say material and being as weather sturdy as possible is important when we're doing an installation. So where there are some things that we know need to be in the RFQ, just any RFQ for a big outside installation. So some of them are just kind of basic.
So I just put up on the
Yeah.
screen the timeline for the project of developing the plans to help us kind of understand what Kylie's timeline is going to be with parks. And if it sounds like you would like to possibly hold off more on our call until the plans are farther along, is that what I'm hearing?
Well, we'll have some unknowns until the plans get further along. I think is what we were saying. Some things we can kind of start working on, like the working group can start on, but finalizing some of those things will probably have to be closer to when a final plan is ready.
Well, there was
If
sort of the reason why we were pushing ahead was to see if we could have an artist in time for the artist to be involved in the plan
Mhm.
and not for
Mm.
us to necessarily wait for the plan to be done and then the artist come in when everything's already 100% and too late to change.
Hmm.
So they're going to pick um, the designer by May and
Do
then
we
plan.
know how much space we'll have for this, Jolynn? Do we know how wide and tall we could make the artwork?
That's what we get to have input on, I think.
Yeah, that's why I think we want to do it early so we can tell
yeah,
them how much space we want.
Well, and I think also like we need to pick a location that will be suitable. Like if we're gonna if we want something that's, for example, like glass, like we have down um at Lakeside Park, then I think we definitely want to be conscientious, of how where the sun is. And if we don't want it, if it's something we don't want to oxidize by the sun, then we also need to be conscientious of that. And just things like that, how much work is going to have to be put into the pad, how big the pad will be, just some of those things I think are preliminary things that we could work on if we early on, if we can pin down
mhm,
a location
Mhm.
for the piece.
agree.
Did you see the suggested one, Michelle, on the do you
I
like the
did.
do you like that
Can
one?
you show that again?
Which one?
The suggested location.
Oh, yeah, let me just go back. Sorry. My Zoom controls are right over where I need to be.
Hmm.
Can't move my screen. Ah, yeah, let me stop sharing for a moment.
Yeah, that's so frustrating. I do that on Zoom too.
Okay. Okay. So this was the original drawing, and they have it placed here. but that's actually kind of on the path. So I think in the latest drawing, they've put it really close right here. Um, but the truth is, what Kylie shared is that this is just to show kind of schematically all the things that they want to the future designers. The design may be very different. Like we could choose to have the art here or here, you know. Obviously, we're probably gonna want it closer to the path, but um,
Do you have, does anyone have any ideas already on like for this space? Does anyone have like kind of an idea of how big we want this to be or any kind of idea about what we want it to look like?
I think Sebastian and I were saying as big
Yeah.
as we can get.
Well, sure. I guess what I recall from discussions we had, I don't remember if this was committee or subcommittee, so please do not tar and feather me for this, but the location for a location, I thought we were considering putting it closer to that north end of the retaining wall behind the shelter. But I guess at this point, it's tough to say because, like you said, Jillian, this is not really a precise plan or a precise like this is what it is. This is just more of like a manifest of here's what we want, knowing that like certain things in the bridge and the path are going to be there. Um, and
Okay.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I did like the towards the north end of the retaining wall idea. And I think I'm a little TBD on height. I don't think it's as uh I guess as good of an opportunity for a super tall piece as the Lake Street one, but it could be. I don't know. I'd be happy to be proven wrong about that. I think it could be, and maybe it would be. I like without knowing what the plan is and the vision is, it's really hard to say.
I would like us to determine I would like us to maybe claim is a better word, a decent sized footprint for this piece. Because I think, with the Lake Street project, it had to be so confined. I would like us to have less constraints with this one.
Mm.
So maybe we just ask for a specific size footprint at this point, and then we don't worry so much about the specific site location. And then as the plans move along, we will have a better idea of site location. I personally would like to see it on on right by the bike path where it is now. I'd like to see it in that location because it would be very visible from the street, from the bike path, from the parking lot. And so I think that is a really great location if we can secure it. Um, but I don't mind it being behind the building either. I just think it has a lot more visibility if it's on Century.
Sure.
And a
Fair
hundred and
enough.
twenty thousand dollar project, I think should be super visible. So that we feel like we're, getting our money's worth, so to speak.
I think, depending upon the ultimate design and kind of the versatility or vision of an artist, I think, it's a possibility that it's not one piece. I mean, it's a possibility that's a large piece by Century and a smaller piece behind the building that has some continuity with the design. I think just keeping the options open to what the vision of that. I mean, if we provide I don't know, kind of those guiding, um, here's what we want it to represent with your vision as an artist. I think even not kind of pigeonholing ourselves into one location um, is a possibility.
this is the drawing that they're sending out with the RFP for the designers, so that you can see they did move it a little bit.
So I think that it would be nice too if we could make this somehow an interactive piece. Um, but that's I think we're getting too far into the details. For now, I think we just need to secure a size of footprint. Like
Mhm.
a large footprint. We don't have to use all that space, but just so that we tell them that that's how much space we want for this piece before they get going too far into it.
How large do you think would make sense?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess I would like to see it have like a 30-foot maybe footprint.
Like 30 square foot, like 6 by 5 or
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good number. And I mean, yeah, I could be feasible in either of those spots. It's hard to tell with this rendering, but yeah, I think that would make sense.
And
Do
remember,
we
we're
have,
also going to do
oh,
the
go ahead.
tunnel too, right?
Yeah, that was the other call that I worked on drafting was the tunnel. I think that's on the agenda as well.
Yeah, that's next on the agenda.
Hmm.
All right. Well, let's ask for a footprint size and get that out of the way, and then we can revisit this next time. And in the meantime, maybe we should we should look at our old RFQ and just pick some of the things out of there that uh, have a commonality and would go into this one as well. Does that
Okay.
sound?
So you're thinking that we won't discuss it again until the March meeting? Um,
Is that enough time? That might
Um,
be kind of close to the deadline.
I mean, the artist doesn't have to be there at the very beginning of the design phase, even if the design.
yeah.
So as long as we have an artist by, you know, June or July, they'll still have time to weigh in on the design. So if we need a little extra time, if we don't want to put this out there until maybe sometime in April, um,
Can we share it like Sebastian had suggested? And then ask the committee for feedback before we meet a month from now?
I mean, right now this version is in your packet, but I can send it again
Mhm.
separately if you need that.
No, I'm not asking to share it. Like I'm asking to have a shared document where committee members can comment. Is
Yeah,
that, I
like
mean, unless I
if we
misunderstood what Sebastian was saying.
No, that's right.
Yeah, if you want to go in and edit it together, you can do that.
Maybe just do we have access? I don't think we could probably do it on SharePoint, but maybe we just do like a Google
Do a Google
Drive
Doc.
share
Yeah, we can do a
and
Google Doc.
enable commenting so that we can
Right.
take a look at all the comments and work them in.
Do you want to pull up the RFQ for the last project we did and just kind of, like I said, pick out the ones that have
This one
crossed?
has almost everything from the I basically took what Sebastian had and then I pasted in everything that was not in, that was from
Okay.
the original one in. So the version that's up, we're starting with almost everything from that, except for those things that were specific to that particular call.
Okay.
So where we need information is kind of, like you said, to talk about exactly like the more information, like what exactly we're looking for this project. Um, so fleshing that out. Um, of
Is
course,
the
putting,
working group meeting again soon?
we can schedule one.
Yep.
Okay. So do you want to just set kind of a rough timeline? Would our goal be if we work on it between now and the next meeting that possibly we could try to have a final version for a final review by the March
Yeah.
meeting?
I'm wondering if the working group should get together and just like and make some recommendations and then send out an email or draft a document that we can all comment on as we've been discussing. And then we can kind of go from there with it.
That's okay with me. I'm happy to meet and clean up this document and the other document and put a share together. That I think makes sense as a means to get it in a better state and then have a commenting period and ideally have versions of these documents that will be ready for approval at the next meeting.
Yeah. And then I
Yeah.
guess should we loop in Kylie before or after you all kind of got to where you feel pretty good about it? And then after the next meeting, we'll then share it with Kylie for feedback and
I think we should probably have Kylie look at these sometime in the next month, like while we're commenting.
okay.
Why not have her be a commenter? And I would rather work her feedback in sooner rather than later.
Hmm.
Sounds good. Okay, great.
All right, shall we move on to the next item? It seems we've worked that out for now. Okay, the Pheasant Branch Creek Bridge project.
I have one, I know you've already kind of talked about this along with the other one, but the update would be, I was trying to kind of understand when we would find out about the amount of money that you recommended for the budget,
Oh
the
yeah.
$100,000. And what Abby shared was that this budget is going to be part of basically the process for the 2027 budget. So we won't actually know for sure until November.
Oh my gosh.
Budget
Oh
gets approved.
no.
I mean, I imagine we'll have some sense of whether there's support for it before then. But so she said that we could still issue the RFQ now, or if we want to do them concurrently, and just make it clear that we're looking for potential artists for this and projects, but that the funding for actually making it will not be approved until November and secured, so that we're very transparent that we don't actually have the money yet. Um, she seemed fine with that, moving forward that way, if you all are. But you might have other ideas. So,
Can I respond to that really
yeah,
quickly?
yep.
Um, Based off that information, I would not want to publish I would not want to publish this one until we know we get the funding. The last thing I'd want to do is we go through the process, we spend time on it, we select an artist, we get their hopes up, they get all excited to do the project, and then November rolls around and we don't get the funding. I really don't want to do that to us or to an artist that we want to hire. This surface or whatever we do on this project is going to be the same. Nothing about the site would really change, I think, with the tunnel portion. We wouldn't be making big adjustments contingent on whether we do the project or not. Maybe some electrical bug connections, maybe, but the overall site I don't think is going to change that much, or we're going to have to make changes or recommend things to be different about the actual like bridge and tunnel portion. I don't know, I would hope we can, my recommendation, and I'm sorry to take up more airtime here, but just to wait to issue this one until we know if it's going to be funded or not, so we don't consume resources and time and bet a lot when we don't have the full information about what's going to happen.
I agree. We have had projects that have fallen through in the past and we've not gotten funding for. And then, of course, we had the roundabout in which we collected donations, and then we couldn't install a piece in the roundabout. So I would agree with Sebastian on waiting until we, have a bird in the hand.
Yeah, and I think that you've made a really good point in saying that the bridge is just going to be what they have constructed. We don't we're asking for some design considerations now, but it seems like it'll be a little bit easier, perhaps, that, if we go forward while construction's happening in 2027, to get that project done in the year of 2027 for the most part. I feel because they're going to have to finish the whole bridge before they can install this anyway. So, you know, I don't think we'll fall as far behind as we would, on this other project if we wait.
And who knows what they'll find when they get into the project. It could be delayed too.
Yeah. An update though on the design part is that Abby and Kelly and I are meeting with the Strand representative, Elisa, on Monday to find out what they put into the design so far as it relates to, our request for the electrical points and whatnot. So we'll be able to report back on what they've done.
Awesome. All right, these are two big projects and they're going to be great additions to our collection. Anything else on that? Okay. Scholarship approval. So it is that time of year again. I do believe that we appropriated to $2,000 in our budget for scholarships. Does anyone have questions or comments they want to bring up about the scholarships? If not, then I think we need to vote on this one. So I need a motion to approve the scholarships, and it would be scholarships two in the amount of $1,000 each.
This is Katie. I will move approval of two $1,000 scholarships for high school students graduating in 2026.
I'll second that.
All right, so we have a
That,
motion from Katie and a second from Beth.
Beth Browning.
Yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Okay, and so while we're on this topic, we're gonna need someone to present these again, and I believe Beth did it last year. Are you willing to do that again this year, Beth?
I think so. Do you have the date yet?
Jolyn, do you have the date for senior awards night yet?
no, I don't think so.
Okay. You'll just send it to me when you get it, okay?
Okay, thank
And
you so much.
then Michelle or anybody who wants me to say something specific, do you mind sending me a script or some notes about what you want mentioned?
Sure, and then I already told Jolyn that we usually get some cards and we sign the cards, or I sign it on behalf of the committee, and then we give them a card so we have something to present them
Mhm.
at that time. I do not know if we have any cards that Simona made, but I thought that, yeah, Abby bought a stack of them, or Scott did. So if not, we'll get some graduation cards for next meeting and have everyone sign them, or I can just sign it for us. So
Yes, sounds good. I will plan to be in person at the next meeting so I can physically carry them with me.
okay.
Would you like to do art or would you like kind of like a certificate of award?
Well, we've never done a certificate of award before, but that's a good idea. I like that idea. Once we know who the awardees are, then we could do something like that. But I like giving them a card. We don't have to.
You do both.
We could do both. Yeah. All right. Yes, let's do that.
I wasn't here last year. What's the process for who's chosen for those?
The art teachers choose the students, and the main requirement is that they're going to study art.
Okay.
In college. We don't have a super strict grade point average on it or a lot of restrictions. It's just that's the main thing. And then so they send us the ones that they choose that they think will, and it can be music, it can be writing, it can be in graphic design, any kind of artistic endeavor.
Thanks.
All right. Anything else about scholarships? Alrighty, then we are going to go on to the next topic, which I had Jolyn put on here, which is the Middleton Student Digital Art Display. Speaking of graphic design. Uh, so Peter Lutt reached out to Jolyn and I, and they are looking for a location to project images of the students' artwork. And he had specifically asked me about the screen on the senior center. And I told him that we had had some discussion about that and that it was currently, we didn't think that it was currently operable at this time. And so I didn't know that that would be a good option. I had suggested Stonehorse Green. And then I thought about it and I thought about the billboard. And I wondered if that might be an option for him and the students. And the reason I thought about that was because during the pandemic, they had put all of the graduates' photos on the billboard and had them streaming through because they couldn't have an in-person graduation. And so I thought, well,
Can,
maybe
which billboard, hun?
I'm thinking about the one that the city is involved with out by the airport road.
Okay, thank you.
And I don't know if that's even an option, if that's booked, if the city would want to do that. Those are kind of the things that I had presented. The two things I had presented to Peter was Stonehorse Green and the possibility of the billboard. So I'm not exactly sure how to proceed with this. Um, what is the status, Elizabeth? Do you know of the projector? It's not operable, right?
Are you Elizabeth GH?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know actually. So I think someone else was connecting with ETC and Abby on that, maybe.
I can
Um,
jump in for a minute. I did talk to people where I work, and to their knowledge, it's more of a projector and not something that we sell as a product where I work. So it's more of maybe like a light bulb in a projector is what we're thinking that needs to be replaced, if I was understanding correctly. So I actually really don't know, to be honest, like what needs to happen to fix it. There was a lot of questions because I wasn't there when, I'm not sure what is installed on the roof. So I don't
right.
know if it'll work. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we host the equipment and are happy to have the equipment there. It was a really neat thing when it was happening. It added something, just anyway, it was really nice.
Mhm.
But so we'd be happy to continue hosting that if it could be repaired. I don't know if it's indeed non-functional, but it sounds like maybe that could be something that could be repaired, and it might be, I don't know, maybe someone else can do that too.
Can we
If it
get
isn't like a
somebody
specific ETC product, right?
who would we get to look at that?
I can ask again. It for
Somebody needs to look at it. We don't have
uh,
any idea what's up with it.
right.
Is it easy to access or is it like in a attic far away?
Oh
Like where
no,
is
it's
it?
super easy to access. We don't have roof access. You just need a ladder.
Oh,
Um, but uh, but then anyone can hop up there. Don't you all go running up and hopping up on the roof of the diner? But
Jumping up and
um,
down.
I know because sometimes I see Katie up there. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, it's accessible, but with a ladder.
so it's
And I
open to the
believe
elements?
it's like in some sort of compartment to protect it from the elements. I don't know what that is. I mean, we're kind of like the host for the. We
Yeah.
don't know anything. It's just up there.
Okay,
I can
well,
ask again about it. But
so back to this student digital art display. Obviously, since not operable at the moment, then that's not an option right now. Would Stonehorse Green be an option? Is there a projector there?
Well, I had responded to him that I didn't think it would make sense because you can't use it unless it's after sunset.
Hmm.
It goes onto that big blow up screen that sits in front of it,
Hmm.
out in the grass. And so, unless he's doing a late night event, toward May, sunset's not till about 8 o'clock.
Do you want to check, Jolyn, with Abby about the possibility of them using the billboard?
Yeah, I think it's actually probably through Brent. He has a schedule of who's using it, but it seems like a billboard's up all the time. You could have, your normal messages sprinkled in with other things, right?
I would think so.
You rotate in artwork, and then also then say, Mustard Days is coming,
Yeah.
for 5 minutes, and then do some art, and then
I
go
don't,
back to Mustard Days and go back to art.
yeah, I don't know how the programming works or any of it, but yes, they can definitely switch it out because they were switching out how many 500 Middleton students. So they
Yeah.
should be able to switch them out. So yeah, if you could check on that, then we can get back to him.
Mhm.
Is everybody okay with that? With the high school students projecting their art? Okay. All right, well then.
I'm okay with that. I think it's a great idea, Michelle. The one thing that comes to mind is more about like equity and accessibility. So as students have their artwork up there and just thinking about the opportunity for their families to see it, um, it is a super public spot, but it also might not be totally accessible to all families. Um, so that's just something that comes to mind for me. Um,
I don't think that we have any other options
okay,
right.
then it doesn't matter if we like it or not.
Yeah, I mean, I
If
think
that's
that
the only
Peter would
option.
say that that's better
Um,
than no exposure at all, probably, you know.
well, I guess it depends if you're someone who has low access and low equity, who feels that way. But it's just something that comes to mind. So
Well, I got the sense that
I
he wanted to
understand.
do it as part of an actual event. Am I wrong? Because I thought he sort of said it would be like an art festival or fair.
Yeah, they're having something, an art show, I think, going on. Uh,
So it would seem like they would actually want that display just to be on like a large screen TV where the event is.
I think he wanted it to be more public. Um,
Oh, is the show just at the school? It's not somewhere, downtown or anything?
I don't
Okay, see,
think.
I was thinking when he said Stonehorse Green, maybe he was going to, pop up the art show at the green or something. Okay.
I don't know. I'm not exactly clear. I'll get more
Okay.
details. But do you want to just check into the billboard as a possibility?
Sure.
Stonehorse Green is not an option. I would love to get the projector on top of Hubbard Ave in repair so that we would have a space that we could project downtown. And I agree that project was going on when I first came to Middleton, and I think that that was a great project. Um,
Do we have funds to pay for the repairs?
I guess we would want to have an estimate and know how much it's going to be. But if it's not a huge amount, then yes, I think we could work it into our budget.
Okay. And I should say, Stonehorse Green would be a possibility if it was for a pop-up display. And like I said, if we could, for example, roll down a big TV like that one.
Like a
Um,
1 day thing or a 1 evening thing.
it could be up all day. It could just be running the slideshow if they just want a public space to have people be able to walk by and see it. It could be probably a city hall. I mean, you know,
I mean,
or at the library.
for the library, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Like if we had it running on a screen, and then that would be accessible to more people.
Hmm.
I like the library idea.
Um, okay, well then does the library have some place where it could do that? And um is it available? I guess would be the next questions for that.
Do they have installed TVs around? Probably then on a rolling TV, on a rolling cart, if they don't have one, already on a wall somewhere.
Do you guys think that would be a good option? No one has any comments?
I feel like they're wanting a big, fun blast for these artists to like see your artwork in public.
Yeah.
And it, I don't know, I would hope that we could attempt to fix the projector.
I don't
And
know what Peter's timeline is.
yeah,
Let me look at
um,
his email and see if he says.
yeah,
This is something too, as we look at that, the design for what the new campus will be downtown, of something to think about in the community engagement sense in a
that's a
few years.
good point.
Like,
That is a really good point. Yeah,
uh, you know,
How cool would it be to have a big digital display on the outside of it that we could have changing artwork on,
I would love that.
That
and it
would
could
be
be
that'd be
seen all
great.
day.
awesome.
Don't they do that on Times Square at late at night?
I
They
think
Yeah.
put artwork on the huge screens.
he doesn't have a time frame.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm gonna message him right now and ask him. Because we might be able to have the projector on top of Hubbard Ave Diner fixed
Oh
before he
yeah, it
needs.
might be. Yeah, maybe we could have it in a couple places. You know.
That's true. That's possible. Let me find out when he wants to do this.
another thing for like an equity standpoint would be, maybe Brent would be willing to have a slideshow embedded on the city website and send it out in the newsletter.
That's a good idea. Or, and it wouldn't hurt to have it in multiple locations either. Like why
Yeah,
couldn't we have it in the library? Why couldn't we have it on the billboard? Why couldn't we have it on the screen downtown if it's fixed?
that's the yes and attitude we like, Michelle.
Yay! Woo! All right. Do we have anything else to say about that? So this is what I've gleaned from this. So Elizabeth is going to connect with ETC, see if she can get someone out there to Elizabeth's building. Other Elizabeth, would you like to get involved with this too?
I mean, it seems like a Team Elizabeth thing, so I'm not
Doesn't it?
sure.
I mean, it really does. And so we can determine then, based on what they think needs to be done, whether or not we can afford the cost at that point. Is that what I'm hearing? And then in the meantime, we're going to check into the billboard and the library and the city website.
Right.
Okay. Did I get it? Hit them all? All the points?
Think you
That
did.
sounds awesome. How cool would that be? And Lord knows there's enough students, so there's enough art
And
for
the
all the
students
places.
get really excited too to see their stuff in public places.
Mhm.
All right. So let's move on to our next topic, which is our annual public art inspection. So, for those of you who have never done art inspection, what we do is we all pick some pieces off of the map. And then we go around and we just kind of go up close to them. We take a good look at them from every angle, see if we see any damage, any potential damage that's coming, anything that like is really severe and needs attention right away should like be really on our radar. But we just kind of check everything. That is actually how we found the gunshot in Self-Made Man. That's how we discovered the salt storage situation. So it's really important that we do that. And so if you all want to just kind of pick some that are close by, everybody just kind of pick what they want to do from the map that's on our website. And then we can maybe just send out a group email, have Jolyn send out a group email, and then so we don't overlap and make sure we hit them all. I don't remember at this point how many pieces we have. Is it 20? But we're gathering quite a good collection of art, I must say. So, anyway, maybe for the next meeting, then we can come back and we can talk about anything we see that has damage. Quadrants over on Terrace Ave, it was getting some rusted out spots. And so that one, whoever looks at that one needs to really kind of check that out and see. Katie, was it you that did it last time?
I feel like it was.
Do
I
you
feel
want to
like it
go this
was.
time up to that one and just to, 'cause
Sure.
we did it before and then that way, if it looks worse to you than it did last time, then that'll be an indicator that we need to act. Because I think that it was oxidizing, but I think there were some rusted out spots too. Um, I think, did you just pass it maybe? Directory of, I think it's that crane, under the crane artist map location. That might just be for the bus stops. Okay, so these are all of the bus stops. If somebody just wanted to take on the bus stops, these have been up for about a year. So
Plan. Thought we had the actual list of all
we
the art.
do have another map. Here we go. Let's see. No, that's
And
not.
visit Middleton.
Is it under the plan?
Oh yeah, doesn't Visit Middleton have an actual brochure with all the art?
We have a
I,
map that you can.
I might have it in my file here. Middleton Outdoor Art Trail, the Visit Middleton, and they have 21 pieces listed. 21 through 30. They have 30 because of the bus stops.
Yeah, the bus stops added a bunch more, like 10
So
more.
that's yeah. So it is listed and mapped on the Visit
Well,
Middleton
it's on
brochure.
our website too. I just don't know where.
Wonder if it got deleted by accident, but here we go.
I hope not.
There it is. View map.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So there should be a directory so we can see where they're at.
There it is.
There we go. Okay.
So there's this down or that group. One, four close.
Yeah,
I don't know
the
how you all
Greenway
divide them up.
Station group. So these are two, I think that most of these are bus. Oh, maybe not. No. What is 13?
There
So
should be another page.
there's the the bus stops are separate, I thought.
21 through 30 are bus stops, according to the full brochure that I have. So
Then
there should be another page.
there's only 14 on here. 13.
Yeah. Maybe the PDF is better.
Yes, let's see if that's the case. Something's not right. That's not even the
Oh, this
map.
must be an old before you had so many.
That's not even the map I'm thinking of.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
There's another map that should be on our website, and I don't know where it's at, but I'm going to
That's
find.
just
I think I see one at it's visitmiddleton.com, then it's things to do, then it's art history, and then it's Middleton Art Trail. So there's one there with many more dots on the map. Yeah, I don't know if the main visit.
Oh, it's because it's up here where it's on our website. It's in the overview section. Okay, I found it.
okay.
This is a good point. If someone's visiting Middleton, it's going to be hella hard to find that. Like just a
We
side
learned we
note
can't
for
find our own map.
tourism. Side note for the tourism
Point.
commission.
So where is it? It's up here?
Okay, and when I open the
Oh, wait.
PDF,
What's that?
it's got everything on it. The one that's
Okay.
okay. God.
Okay, here's our
More
list.
difficult than it should be.
Hmm.
Okay. So anyway, there's the map. We finally found it. So if y'all just want to pick some, and then I'll take whatever you leave, whatever's left.
Can we just email you what we want?
Yeah, just email me. I'll email what you want to do, and then I'll see what's left. If there's a ton of them left, then I'll start assigning.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you could do a little sign up genius.
Oh God, I don't want
I'll
to
do
do a
the
sign
bus
up.
stops, Michelle.
I'm gonna pass.
I'll sign up for the bus stops if that's helpful.
Sure, yes, that'd be great. If you want to take all the bus stops.
Sure, from 22 to 31.
Yeah. And I
Is
guess really
that
the main thing you're
okay with
looking for,
everybody?
Yeah, of course. Perfect.
All
Thank
right,
you.
I'm on bus
I think
stops.
the main thing you'll be looking for with those is like tears and peeling, because they're
Hmm.
pretty new. There shouldn't be much fading, but if there is, then we should know that too. But I
Okay,
think tears and peeling is what we're looking for mostly with those.
deal.
Okay. So everybody's going to email me the ones they want to take, and then we'll go from there. So we are at, what's our next thing? Is it the youth center?
Art walk.
Art walk. Art walk. Art walk is rolling along. I don't know what else to say about that. We've just been, scheduling things, planning things. I think I've got the face painter balloon twister situation straightened out. We had a third face painter that was interested, and I did email her and told her that if the second face painter that I'd contacted from last year didn't want to do it, we would invite her. But
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't promise her anything.
yeah. And I did loop Jolene in or Jolene in on my email to her and said that there may be events that you're planning that will need a face painter and that you now have her contact information. So, yes, I think that we're just like, you know, we've got 40 confirmed artists right now.
Great.
Unless we've gotten more since our last meeting.
There are a few more to review, but you could probably wait till the next group meeting.
Okay. And then, yeah, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to report other than we're just like moving along with the planning stage and yeah, that's
Michelle, on the face painter, I had someone reach out as well. I just let them know I'd bring it. Is Kim Whitty who you were
yes.
speaking
Same
about
one.
too?
Mhm. Me too.
Okay, then I replied that just said I'd mention it at tonight's meeting, but if someone's been in contact that
Yeah,
I'm just gonna move that as a done.
I emailed her this morning and then I heard back from Jane, the one that was here last year that did like the 3 to 5 o'clock shift or 2:30 to 5 o'clock shift. She did get back to me after I messaged the other person. So I'll let her know that we don't have a space, but she does have Jolene's contact. So if Jolene needs one, or if anybody needs a face painter, we have multiples to choose from now. We struggled to find one the first year, and now we've got three to choose from. So that's good. Okay. Anybody want to say anything about Art Walk?
I was just going to ask about the children's area. Do you know where that's going to be this year? Just for my brain to start planning the activity.
Yep, we're moving it back to where it had been the previous year,
By the skate park?
on the other side of the street.
Okay.
Um, and I have not been in touch with the musician yet, the kid's musician, but he did reach out to me, and so I will get back to him as well.
I have a note that we needed a theme for the kids' projects. Is that still a necessity?
Well, we are meeting our subcommittee for pop-up arts is meeting this next weekend. So any ideas you guys have would be great.
But if you don't have a specific theme, we'll just kind of declare a theme for the kids' corner.
We love
Sure.
that.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Um, Also I messaged Ruth and they're going to be, Middleton Area Historic Society is going to be having a booth and doing a craft again this year. Um, and she doesn't know for sure what it is yet, but they are planning on being there. And Mike Davis is going to be doing the stroll and tell again. And so they will be involved the same as they were last year. Um, we also have applied, we did get a CDA grant. Thank you, CDA. I believe that was $2,000. And then Jolynn has applied for a Dane Arts grant that we have not heard back about yet. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We're rolling along, and May 16th is going to be a glorious day. So if we don't have anything to talk about with that, we can move on to Youth Center. And Youth Center, the only update I have is that next month we have Brianna, a girl who made paper flowers last year, but I think she might be doing a macrame project this year. So she's our next one coming up, and the kids just did pottery for the last 2 months. So those are moving along as well. And that's pretty much all I have for that. And we are down to pop-up art.
Okay, so for pop-up art, as I mentioned this weekend, we're going to be planning a lot of the events. At last meeting, I gave you most of the dates. We were just going to select a Thursday night market at Stonehurst Green, and we're still working on that date. But I think otherwise we have a good amount of projects that we're going to plan.
It's
So we'll
helpful.
probably be asking next meeting for donations and specific things that we'll need since we'll have an actual list.
All right. Fabulous.
The bookmobile is going to be there in May and September. So I don't know if you want to be there, if it makes sense to coordinate with them or to do at a different time. So there's always something for kids. So maybe if you did one of the three middle ones, then yeah, that we just know that there'll be something that's more of a youth activity. If that works with your schedules, obviously,
Yeah, I'll make a note.
Yeah. We'll look at those middle dates then, and we'll chat Saturday.
All right. Anything else with pop-up art?
Not that I can think of.
All right. You guys do a fabulous job with the pop-up art projects. Okay, well, I guess then we're ready to adjourn. Everybody stay safe if we actually get a snowstorm.
Mhm. All right.
Thanks.
Thanks,
And
everyone.
Thanks, everybody.
thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Have
Have
a
a
good
good
night.
night.
bye.
Bye.